Anime and manga piracy reportedly cost Japan 38 billion in 2025, up from 13 billion in 2022. That is wild. That is a wild number. I'm gonna let you guys talk about that while I go grab my grub. I'll be right back.
That's why they've been cracking down recently on like the sites, bro. I know they're heated looking at that number, bro. And look, what I'll say about this for like I have a more like nuanced perspective on it because like I know like people who do it and I also do it, but we give back in like other and like various other ways. Like if I find a series I'll just give you the easiest one, My Hero. I'll invest like in heavily in that series, like outside of like the subscription. I view piracy as a try it before you buy kind of thing, because like I want to like we go through like so many anime, but like only like, and I only have so much money to spend. So like I'm really just like trying to see like which animes are worth spending my money on, and if it's really worth spending my money on, like I'll go all in on them. Like I've collected all of the English volumes of the mainline My Hero. I have both the English and Japanese versions of Vigilantes. I have a few like Vigilantes figurines. I have a few like My Hero figurines. For me, like this money doesn't just disappear. Like I'll reinvest in other ways. Like a big one like Anime Expo. Like I have to really watch myself Anime Expo because like I tend to go crazy there, and I don't think I would be spending as much on anime if I had to pay like the subscription like every month or every year or like however long it is. Even though Crunchyroll has been like is like essentially the Netflix of
that's what I'm saying.
anime, they don't have every series because like, and I know this because whenever they do their like little anime awards, the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, they'll only ever put up like anime that they produce. It's never like if it's like something from like I'll give you this is an easy one. Eminence in Shadow, that's a high dive show, and no matter how good it is, that's not gonna be like on the Crunchyroll Anime Awards because it wasn't made by Crunchyroll. So like although they are like it feels like they're all encompassing, they're still like missing a few things, and not to mention like that's not to mention like a lot of the stuff that they don't have because it's like it's too old or they just don't have the licensing rights to it. So like there are a lot of these like legal gray areas where I think like pirate sites are. Like I understand from like the financial and the business side, like you don't want to lose money and you just don't like seeing like people like use your product. And there are going to be like people who are just like who will pirate and just like never give back to like in other ways. We take the money that we don't use on streaming to like in other areas of anime enjoyment. So
for me, I've been around for a minute, so pirating is in my blood. Ever since I've been recording music off the radio on my little tape deck. So I've always been into stuff like that. But for me, when it comes to pirating, I look at it as I'm only going to do it when it comes to something I don't really have the access for it. So if I don't have the access for that particular anime, then yeah, I'll go look for it on a pirating site. You know what I mean? But other than that, I would always try to pay for the subscription, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot more people know more about the pirating sites more than I do. I look at it like the iPhone and the Google phones. Like most people have Google and Android phones because they want to pirate music and they want to pirate videos. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, iPhone, they'll give you that access, but they're not going to let you pirate. So it just depends on the person. Like I said, I just do it sparingly when there's not that content on that website. Then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to look for it somewhere else.
Right. Like you said, it's I only I would only record it if it's something like I really want it, but I can't like go get it with ease. But other than that, I'm paying for it like happily.
Yeah.
I pay for my Crunchyroll. I pay for High Dive. I want I know some people don't like Crunchyroll and some people don't like, the anime, and that's fine, or High Dive, and there's people that have different feelings on these things. But the way I see it is, look, I have to be honest and true to the people that are making this stuff. I have to figure that some way or another, this money is getting back to the people that are actually giving me the entertainment. You know? That's just me. I'm not saying that nobody else. I know a lot of people that pirate. I don't hold them accountable. I can only talk about myself and what I do. But I mean,
This-
$38 billion, it's a lot of fucking money. Let's just be
Yeah.
let's just keep it a buck.
I mean,
I mean,
like
they're going to tighten up on that, though. I'm pretty sure they will.
they
They're going
will.
to figure out to channel it through one entity where they could really be able to, watch what's being pirated and be able to track what's going on. Because, I mean, like I said, pirating's been around forever, dude.
You ain't
Here
Yeah, and
getting
it's gonna continue to be around because like even though they took down the big one, which Bato TO, that's the big one that they took down recently, that pirate site. I'm pretty sure like there are like several more that like they have in like somewhere else.
Like I think about myself. Like, how would I like if I created something and then people are just pirating it and enjoying it, but not paying me for it?
exactly.
That I would feel bad. I would be pissed off. Go ahead, Stacey.
It's kind of like what like people who do fan stuff of it do. They always say in the beginning or the end of it, they'll always say, make sure to support the official release. And that's what I try
Right.
to do. I want to support the official release. If it's like My Hero, I will support it. If it's Ari Ferretta, I will support it. If it's something good that I know I like, I will support it until the day I die, no matter what.
This is like triple, basically what it was 2 or 3 years ago. So it seems like every year it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. From 13 billion 3 years ago, or well now 4 years ago, but $38 billion last year. And you got to figure Japan is going to start cracking down on this shit.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It's a lot of cats all over the world that are getting, a lot of entertainment out of Japan. And in the meantime, Japan is losing $38 billion off of that. And you want to, you should want to make sure that these guys are getting paid in full, instead of having to nickel and dime. We hear the stories about what happens in some of these anime studios. These cats be going through it. They working under a tight schedule. They working like slaves. They working them to the bone. Man, let's go. So to me, I've always said, yeah, let me just go ahead and pay for the things that I enjoy, instead of trying to pirate it. That's just me. I'm not holding anybody to that, but that's just how I look at it. Saying I watch a lot of really old 90s and 80s anime that you can only find on pirate sites. And see, that's the thing. Like, if you can only find it on a pirate site, then you're going to start using pirate sites for your go-to, right? So what you got to start, saying is, hey, hey, Crunchyroll, why don't you put some of this old stuff on, and then I'll pay for it, but if you're only going to give us new stuff and you're not going to go back and give us some of those old series, then yeah, people are going to find their way to the pirate sites, So, I understand that side of it as well. To quote a legend, piracy is a service issue. Either it's too expensive or it's not available. Otherwise, you lost 38 billion. Do something about it. Exactly. And again, that goes right back to what Blue Sunrise is saying. All right, if he's watching like 90s and 80s and old anime and it's not available on Crunchyroll, I don't know what anime he's watching. There's a lot of old shit available on Crunchyroll, but if you're not finding what you're looking for, then yeah, people are going to do what they got to do.
Like Blue Sunrise said, like Crunchyroll doesn't have like all these series. Like we talked about, like you have High Dive as well. There's some series on High Dive that are on Crunchyroll that you got to have High Dive just to watch. So it's like if the more subscriptions we got to pay for this, it's just like some people are just like, why bother? It's like too expensive. And those are the first things that start getting cut out of like a budget. If you got to think about like food, gas, utilities and all that.
Sure.
So for a lot of people, and I said this earlier, I don't know if you missed it, like they're obviously going to be people who pirate and just never like reinvest in other avenues.
Right.
And to bring up to Angel's point earlier, like if they had a good subscription service that had like, a lot of the anime all the anime, and this is the important one for me, you don't have like idiots and in the localization team like gaslighting me, the audience member, on what the content or like what the original vision was, then I'm more likely to buy it. But that until that changes, it's like I'm really gonna be opposed to it, and I hate doing that because, like you guys said, I love paying for the official release. Like whenever you guys always hear me say, like whenever there's an anime movie at the theater, I always go and try to support it. I always like
Look, here go name right here. It's like, hey, it's less than a cup of coffee, bro. Just a small monthly payment, dude. Just $15, bro. You use it all the time anyway, bro. The name down there. I hate subscription-based services. I hate subscription-based. Oh man, but yeah. Look, this guy up here. Somebody up here had said Crunchyroll is literally $5 a month, bro. Everybody, not everybody got $5 a month.
When was it $5? I'm paying $8.
It ain't $5 at all. Yeah, it's. I think it's.
I'm paying 12. I'm paying 12 for Crunchyroll right now.
I think I'm paying that. Yeah, I'm paying like I got the highest premium spot, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's about $12, $13. I got that too, DA.
Man, but yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how this thing is going right now. So I don't want Japan to, because what's going to end up happening is they're going to start doing more and more stuff with Netflix.
Yep,
that's why they're doing stuff with Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, they got to counteract it somehow. So they're going to say, hey, let's just give it to Netflix because Netflix is going to pay us. We can't get paid because everybody's pirating, so we can't get paid. So now we're going to Netflix. You see those second knockoff effects that people don't think about. And then they mad at Netflix is dominating to, well, Netflix is paying these animators and these creators, and that's how that happens. They're getting the money. And so it's like, well, shit, Netflix is going to pay us. So we're going to go ahead and roll with Netflix and we're going to get a deal with them. And if Netflix say, hey, we got to start doing things more on a Western tip to get more Western audiences in, then that's what they're going to do. Because they can't get it because everybody's pirating them and they're not getting paid. They're losing $38 billion a year. That's wild shit. So that's why I bring this stuff up and say, you guys got to think every time you pirate, you're making it more and more easy for Netflix to come in and gobble these guys up.